is an absolute goon. I'd rather wear no helmet than no knee braces.
Get a fucking life.
You're just insecure because you don't believe in yourself that much.
Is that weak that you can't handle? That's what we need. You can stick a stick up your ass. I'll stick a pole in my ass.
Hey guys, how you going? It's Kale here, and welcome to the Ryno Hughes knee guard versus knee braces debate. Now, this one is an absolute beauty. You're in for a treat. Originally, Ryno was supposed to be on a video call, but he clicked out before I got to save the recording, so you can't see him himself, but the wisdom is there, the debate is there, the knowledge is there, and you're going to absolutely love it. As well as that, there was a bit of a time difference with the time zone, so it was 3 a.m. for me, and every now and again we talk over each other as there's a little bit of a lag with the sound. But other than that, this one is an absolute cracker. So thank you for watching. There is no ads. We're getting straight into it, and I would appreciate it if everybody could leave a comment at the end and let me know what you think. Knee guards or knee braces? Enjoy.
All right. I don't know. I don't know how clear this is gonna be, but fucking A.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks good on my end. How you been?
Yeah. I've been doing good, man. Been doing good. Just just living my life, living low, and just getting just tuning into who you are, tuning into what life is, because life's pulling us in so many different directions, and the way the world is right now is you better fucking tune into yourself and get yourself buckled down, because I think some shit's coming around the corner. Other than that, training Austin, that's going really well. Myself and him get together quite well. He listens good. Made some big changes this year, and I feel he's going to be a completely new rider going into Detroit this weekend. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, life's good. Life's full of just lessons and blessings, right?
How old are you?
I'm 50 now.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm 50 now. So yeah, 50 maybe look like 65, but
Yeah, I was going to
motocross,
say
motocross to put a. Here we go. Oh shit, motherfucker! I told you.
Get him.
Well, I knew that was almost an accident. Well, that was almost an accident too, but fuck this. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. Well, past like 45 cars, so it's what you got to do.
Real motocross
All right,
races.
so but yeah, no, life's good, man. So how about you? How's everything going? We've been playing a little phone tag back and forth, this and that. So how's everything with you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Cracking along. And I'm impressed you've taken up this debate. So usually people will all talk, but they don't back it up, which you're happy to have a chat. So I do get asked about 2 or 3 times a day in regards to knee braces, in regards to you.
Okay.
Now, the quality isn't quite Gypsy Tales, but I promise to talk over you. So let's do it, eh?
Yeah, so just what my opinion is on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have a bit of a chat about it. It is 3 a.m. here in Australia, so early bird gets the worm.
Yeah.
And today you're the worm, so give us your thoughts. Knee guards.
Yeah, so the biggest thing, so I know we've talked about this before. So the one thing is I wasn't against anything, didn't even really have an idea about it. Of course, I talked about the neck brace because it puts you in such a position that you do the worst thing you could ever do, and that's breaking form. And breaking form is bending at the knees first, and that's the problem with what Jet never does is break at the knees, and everybody else does a bit, and even his brother, and that's his problem, is break at the knees. So when you break at the knees, you break form, and it goes into your arms, and especially through the whoops when that front end dips, the only thing that you can do is push back. If that bike is getting kicked up because that bike pushed, that bike kicked up and pushing you into the front end of the bike, and you broke form, well, the only thing you do is push back, so you're magnifying that kick. Say, so Jet goes through the whoops, and he always rotates at the hips. He never breaks at the knees, so when that front end goes away from him, his arms are extended, so the only thing that he can do is pull up, so that's why you always see him start wheel tapping when that front end dips. Does that make sense? So that whole idea is about making sure you're using the body the way it's been designed, and also keeping it in a strong, stable, coordinated position. And you can't do that with the neck brace. It's impossible, right? So one day I was riding, and I'm like, dude, putting knee braces on just take way too much time. I'm just gonna put some knee guards on and just ride. And I rode, and about five laps in, I'm like, holy shit, man. like I feel good. Like I feel lighter. I can feel the bike. I can move the bike at my knees because we have 30 to 40% of interior and exterior rotation. So if you take that out of the body, well, then you're limiting what's controlling and riding the bike at this. The bike doesn't go by itself, so the body has to do it. So if you want that motorcycle to work at its optimum, well, then you're dialing it in, balancing it in, and everything. And 2 pounds, 2 clicks, and 2 millimeters change that motorcycle. So if you're taking 30 to 40% of interior and exterior rotation of the knees from the body that's riding the motorcycle and a very important part right at the seat level, well, you're going to limit your efficiency. You're going to limit what you could do. And so I started feeling that. And then I told my buddy, hey, dude, you got to try this. And he tried his knee pads and he was blown away. And so that was my biggest thing is like, man, I can't believe how good I feel. So everything that you want from a motorcycle, all the speed that you want to have in a race, all the consistency you want, and all the good finishes you want comes from a good feel. Nobody has ever been a champion, won a race, and been consistent, always feeling like shit. So everything that you need to come upon on the track needs to be met with the right technique and the right efficiency, especially the bikes now. It's not so much training right now. It's not about fitness. It's about precision because these bikes are meant to be used. You got to use the bike, not override the bike back in the two-stroke days. So then you go back and I'm like, well, shit. All right, well, what about knees? If I go back 20 years since the knee brace has come out, every single person that has blown out their knee has had a knee brace on. So if the knee brace is so good, then why aren't we helping knees become stronger? And whatever you don't use, you lose. So whenever you immobilize a joint and that joint doesn't have to be used properly, well, then it's going to become weaker. And then every knee brace starts to slide down. So now the pivot point is in the wrong place. So if every knee brace slides down a little bit and the pivot point is wrong, and then now you twist your knee, well, now maybe there's more of a leverage point that we're not looking at. So for me, that's all I was getting at. And then I told Glenn Goldenhoff, and I told a vet, and I told a kid, and I told a woman, and then Barsha, and all these guys started jumping on board, and Cooper Webb, and it's like, and they're like, dude, I can't believe how good I feel. It's like a new rider. So that's all I was saying. If I had a product that I was bringing out to sell or anything else, well, then you can say that I had, other reasons. But I'm just trying to tell the sport what I felt and what I think about it because I'm the one that thinks outside the box and usually starts the chaos of everybody talking about stuff that nobody wants to talk about. So, boom. There you go.
Good explanation. Good explanation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beliefs
Now
in
my arm's
there.
tired.
What's that?
I said, now my arm's tired from holding this damn phone. So, all right. What was that?
Rest
Good.
easy. Rest easy. My turn. My turn. So there's a lot of things there I do agree with. I do agree motorbike riding is a feeling, but I believe a feeling becomes from presence, and presence isn't a skill that you can work on the bike. You work on that off the bike, whether it's meditating, whether it's reading, whatever it is. You want to be present in everyday life. That will transfer onto the bike so that you can focus solely on what you're doing. I don't think that's a skill necessarily that can be practiced on the bike. Things that can be worked on the bike are rhythm, timing, balance, depth perception. These are a range of skills that I believe make Jet so good, as you mentioned earlier on. When it gets back to the knee braces argument, for me, I work from a first principles basis. So this is something that Aristotle used in 384 BC. It's still used today by Elon Musk. But basically what it is you break a problem down to its most fundamental truths, what can't be avoided, what is most important, and build back up from there. Now, for me, when I look at motorcycling in a whole, the most fundamental truth that outweighs everything is avoiding injury where possible. Now, for me, or for anyone, the most common soft tissue injury is knees. 40% of injuries are knee injuries. And then you'll ask, well, how can we avoid that? There are proven studies that all show if you wear knee braces, you'll have less chance of injuring your knees, the soft tissue injuries. You have a 50% reduction in ACL injuries, and you'll have a 700% MCL reduction. All of this could be seen on the internet. There's studies on the IMBPD website and whatnot done by doctors. So that's clear. Number one is to avoid injury. I don't care how strong you are, how fit you are, how good your bike is, how good your mindset is. The minute you get injured, it's over, right? You become useless. you're out. The majority of monies are lost are through injuries. The majority of championships are lost are through injuries. So you want to avoid this at all times possible. Everybody understands that. Knee braces will.
Oh shit! Hold on. Oh shit!
Yeah, no, you're right.
Now we're getting. Oh shit! There we go. Okay, sorry. I got scared because I'm not a technical dude. All this stuff came up. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. So number one is you want to reduce your injuries. You can do that by wearing knee braces. But then the second question is you don't want to reduce your performance. So then you ask, well, knee braces will make me safer. They can reduce my chance of injury, but will they slow me down? And that's where you can clearly look at whether it be, who have we got here? Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton, Jeffrey Hurlings, Tim Geyser, Jorge Prado, Ken Roxon, Hayden Deegan, Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, James Stewart, RJ Hampshire. Is Austin still wearing them? And Jeremy Martin, Max Anstey. So you've got 17 of the top 20 all wear the knee braces. You're right. They've all got reduced chances of injury. So to me, that would say, on a first principles basis, I'm going to be safer wearing braces and it's not going to reduce my speed. Now, what I heard you say before, a common rebuttal is that knee guards are comfier or that what you brace makes you weaker. I'm going to push back on that one. And anybody here watching, pause this right now, type into the Google, does what you brace make you weaker? And within 0.37 seconds, there's 30 million results that say it's a common misconception that all bracing use will lead to the weakening of muscles is simply untrue. So that's a myth, that one. It doesn't make you weaker. That's not from me. That's from all the studies. And that's where I'm at, mate. I think it makes you safer. I think all the fastest riders in the world wear it. That's proven by science. That's proven by every Sunday. And I understand where you come from, but I don't believe bracing is the issue with that.
Okay. So first thing, if you name all these riders, one thing, they all grew up in the age of knee braces. They all started riding motocross, and the idea was to put knee braces on, just like the kids that were born in when the neck brace era came in. They were forced to wear neck braces. Now all of them take them off. So don't tell me that these guys choose to wear them. They just don't know. They just don't know. You know what I mean? So let me have a day with them, a week with them, and say, no, they've never. When you come into the sport, everybody's like, you got to put knee braces on. You got to put knee braces on. You got to put all these things on. It's mandatory, or it's kind of like it's just thought because that's what everybody's done. You get what I'm saying? They never had a chance to try different sides. So if I took them at a competition and said, hey, 1 week you ride with no knee braces on, I'll guarantee that they feel better. It's impossible not to. So that's the thing, is you can't say that these guys wear them because they choose. They were just born into the sport when the knee brace was forced on everybody, just like the kids that came into the sport and the neck brace was forced on them. And we lost so many good riders because of what the neck brace did to their technique. They couldn't go any faster. Their technique wouldn't allow it. So that whole idea is kind of, to me, throwing out the thing, because then you go back, okay, myself, McGrath, Carmichael, Villapoto, Stewart, Rick Johnson, Jeff Ward, Cincerello, who else has maybe already hurt their knee and still have Dean Wilson, Christian Craig. Let's see, I could just keep naming.
It doesn't completely remove the injuries.
So hold on. So they all hurt their knees with knee braces on. So now we are both at a standpoint, right? Standpoint. You're all about this is safety, and I'm saying that it's not safety. We still get hurt. So that's why I go in the middle, is who gives a fuck about safety and how fast can you ride this motorcycle, because that's all that matters. That's all that matters, is how fast you can ride this motorcycle and how good you feel in this motorcycle. Because if you don't, you were just done a very dangerous, expensive hobby done. Now, if you just want to do it for kicks and giggles, well, then, yeah, you make your choice and do whatever you want. I'm talking about the highest level of how you ride this motorcycle at the best. And I'm not talking about injury, because I don't give a shit about injury at that level. That level is about winning. And so you have to ride this motorcycle the most efficient you can. And without knee braces, you will do that. Now, do you have that confidence in yourself to be and do that? Well, that's up to the rider. But To go the fastest on the motorcycle, you can do it without knee braces. Done. And that's all I'm getting at is if you want to feel the best on the motorcycle and go the fastest, well, then you need to make sure that body can work at its optimum. Done, and don't brace it. Okay. Now, if you want to think about safety and I'm scared and all this, well, man, then put all the braces you want on. Don't matter to me. I could, you can fucking ride in a bubble.
Yeah, we can settle on the safety aspect. It's a done deal on that side. Race riders every 1,000 hours that they ride have 1.6 injuries. Non-race riders at 3.7, so it cuts it in half. But we can dispel that. We'll go to performance. If the fastest riders in the world all wear the knee brace, then any rider slower than them, it's not the knee brace holding them back because there's another rider quicker than them that is wearing them. So I don't know how you can say that they'd go quicker without them if the quickest rider does wear them.
Because they never worn them. Why do you think Cooper Webb can turn underneath everybody? Because his legs do it. He can turn under everybody. He turns so sharp underneath. He doesn't wear knee braces. He can turn under.
And I understand the feeling as well, but
downhill. Let's see this downhill skiing. You cannot wear knee braces in downhill skiing to be at the best. You have if you've blown your knee out 1,000 times, like Lindsey Vonn has, okay. But the top skiers do not wear knee braces because they need that body to be able to do this. And what do you think a motorcycle's doing under the body? Doing this. It's moving. You don't want your upper body to move. So the more you can have a link in you by chains, by movement, the less you are going to be affected at that highest point. And that's the same as a downhill skier. So that's all, it's like the body was designed to be fucking strong. Why doesn't anybody believe it? Why doesn't anybody trust it? I know it because I've recovered from being paralyzed 4 fucking times, and I am stronger, fitter, and have no pain in my body now. So I believe that the body was designed to be able to handle more than we can imagine. We just have to train it correctly and get off these fucking bicycles, get into the trails, get into road running, strengthen your joints, focus your mind. And again, yes, you can do both. You can train being present on the motorcycle, and also you can do it off. So you have to do it everywhere for it to start clicking. And how you do anything is how you do everything. You have to become meditation. You have to drink your coffee with meditation. You have to brush your teeth with meditation. You have to sleep with meditation, meaning feeling things. When you start to feel the outside world, then you start to feel everything. And so, but you can practice it on the motorcycle too, because I have my riders always practice feeling their feet, feeling their hips, feeling their hands, feeling their wheels, And if it only works for 1 lap, well, fuck. Maybe that's 1% more. Then the next time, 2% more, then 3% more, So that's what I'm getting at there. And, that's it in this sport, man, because it's cut and dry, dude. It is fucking cut and dry.
Totally agree with what
If you don't make it, you are done. Like they don't give you another chance. So that's why I'm always talking about is look, you got a window. So if you're afraid of getting hurt, you ain't making that window.
I totally agree. And to me, you have a finite time to make your money. So if I can put something on my body and my body is as strong and good as capable as it can possibly be and it will reduce my chance of injury, I'm goddamn wearing it. I don't give a shit how it feels. I don't give a shit. If you told me tomorrow you can jam a stick up my ass, but it will reduce my chance of injury and I'll be able to go as fast as the fastest riders in the world, I'd tell them to put 2 in there. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. It's proven to give me less chance of injury. And it's proven that the fastest riders wear it. So that's it for me. It's a done deal. I don't care how it feels. I don't care how it is. I would
stick. You can stick a stick up your ass. I'll stick a pole in my ass to make me safe. Okay, trust me, because I've gone through it, and that's why I don't ride because it scares me to death now. But hey, I'm with you on being safe. I really am with you. But
I don't think you should ride around thinking I want to be safe. But if you can make a logical.
The only way to make you safe in this sport is to ride in a bubble.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ride around thinking you can't be safe, but before you get on the bike, you want to make every logical choice to be as safe as possible and then disregard it completely. I've done what I can. Now I'm going to be present and do what I can. The studies say I'll be safer with them. I'll put them on. Done deal. I'm not thinking about it anymore. We will move on.
For me, it's like, okay, but then the thing is also, look, okay, let's look at this. If I don't wear a knee brace, my injuries could be blown out of knee. Okay. If I wear a knee brace, I still can blow out my knee. I can break my tib and fib. I can break my femur, and I can dislocate my hip, like I saw, what's his name do. So, so there's just pivot points. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm getting at is that, it's, dude, again, it's up to the rider. It's up to what you feel. You know what I mean? There's arguments on one side. There's arguments on another side. And there's science on one side, science on the other side. There's no way to really prove anything except if you got 10 riders and had them all ride with knee braces and not knee braces, and then they all pick what they want. Doesn't matter the percentage. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. You know what I mean? Does not matter who's right and who's wrong. It just matters what that rider wants to feel. And only thing I did was talk about stuff that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about. Nobody talks about this shit. Nobody talked about neck braces and this.
Hey,
Nobody
that's up
talked
to you,
about
man.
taking
That's
knee
up to
braces
you.
off just for efficiency. So I'm just opening up another box to it, and maybe that box will actually bring in better protection, maybe different thinking, maybe somebody that has an idea because they want to prove me wrong. Fucking hey, cool. You just made the
Yeah,
sport
so
safer.
safety gear is definitely not a substitute
know?
for skill and strength. You have to work on those things as well. They can't be ignored. You can't just strap things on your body and think it's a done deal. You're not going to get hurt. They are not an absolute. So don't get that twisted. You mentioned
Yeah. So
being present. What's your thoughts on TikTok brains
yes.
and pro riders using social media?
The problem is right now is these younger kids. If these younger kids keep coming up, we're going to have the top riders are going to be 50 years old. Okay, because these kids cannot handle pressure. They can't handle making a decision. They can't handle even thinking for themselves because they have been programmed so much from the social cancer I see from social media, and then especially in this sport, their mom and dad's handling all their social media, and making them just it's a bad thing, and there's no way to be present when you are constantly focused on the the extraordinary, because that's what's coming from your phone, and then you're so distracted from the ordinary, which is your life, right?
Do you
And
think pro
so
riders should be in the
right
comment
now,
section arguing?
I think pro riders, the biggest thing for me is when you go to the track, you should turn your phone off and not have it on. Not have it on, because I do these things and I turn my phone off completely, and I find out that I'm not as anxious, not anxious by oh, did they get back to me? Or even, hey, man, did she get back to me? Who called me? What's everybody up to? There's just this pull that we don't really understand. We don't really get until you pull away from it. Myself and my friend are going to start these 3-day immersions where people come and they take their phones off, and it's just complete no phone, no nothing. And we heal and we do these things and we hike and we run and we all these stuff. People stay in these badass tents I have, and just a reboot, because we reboot every electronic there is, but we never reboot ourselves from the electronics. We're too informed, we're too entertained, we're too there's too much opportunity. We're
It's
never
constant
content
stimulation,
anymore.
which isn't
And that's
very
and
well.
it
Very
yeah,
well
and it's all
by
coming from
presence
this
and
fucking
calmness and
device.
slowness.
Yeah. So now if a person if a kid is on social media and he's waiting for some girl to answer, or he has some girl and she's not answering, and you know what it can do to you, or friends are talking shit or this and that. Well, he's going onto the track with that in his mind. With
Well,
that
it
in
leads
his
me to my
mind.
question.
That's
I believe
incorrect.
you're on the way to the Kawasaki track, train with Austin. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
Yeah. Hello, California.
nice show, nice show. Did you take Austin's phone off him?
Yeah. Fucking traffic.
I see him in the comments
I'm
every bit,
racing again.
especially on Jason Anderson's post.
Yes. What do I think about Jason Anderson and Jet?
No. I think. What do you think about Austin in the comments on Jason Anderson's post? I was quite surprised to see one of your riders in there.
Oh, I don't I don't read it. I read no comments.
I think you should
I don't
take his
read
phone
anybody's
off him. I
comments.
think you should take his phone off him, to be honest.
Take his what?
Austin's phone off him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, that's it. That's his world. I am paid to make sure that he rides as clean, smooth, fast, technical, and precise as he can, and that's all I give two shits about, man. And making sure that mind is as focused, sharp, and as intense as I can make it.
Yeah.
So what, dude? It's words. And again, for this to blow up like it has, get a fucking life, human beings. Get a fucking life, motocrossers.
You love keyboard warriors,
Somebody came off the track after running. Hold on, let me get this. Somebody came off the track, two guys, after running 20 minutes at a heart rate of 190 with the fucking consequence of death on their side. And they come off and they grab their helmets and have a little struggle. And everybody goes haywire. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm sure there's guys at home right now. I'm sure there's guys at home right now shake their sons harder than they shake those two guys, and they got fined, and everybody on social media is blown up. Are you guys that fucking bored? Or are you guys that weak that you can't handle? That's what we need. We need competition. We need excitement. We need guys that want to fucking race. That's what makes sport, man. And again,
I'd be
they
pissed
grab
off
each
if they
other's
didn't do
helmets
something
down.
about it.
I told Jason Anderson, I said, my highlight would have been way better than yours, son. You know, if someone grabbed me by the helmet like that. So
I've
what
actually
I'm
seen
getting
what
at
happened when
is,
that
dude,
happens.
it's racing. It's racing and nothing happened. If someone T-boned him, then dude, you get a free shot. You know what I mean? All that stuff I'm about, but those guys raced hard. They raced for 20 minutes. Nobody can even talk about the adrenaline there is when you come off that track on a supercross. Nothing else in sport except maybe like MMA. You know what I mean? Because this you're in there for your life. And so when you have that coming off the track, how can't there be emotions? How can't there be tension?
I totally
You know
agree.
what I
It's
mean?
great as a spectator to have that entertainment, and in a way, you'd probably be pissed if they didn't show emotion because then they don't care about it. But it is two pronged. I mean, you look at Tomac; he's as stoic as tore his Achilles. Whatever happens, anything goes wrong, you'll never see a reaction or anything from him. I think there is value in that. Although, as a spectator, as a fan, I
Yep.
prefer to see what Jet and Anderson did selfishly. I think for results, pure results, like on a logic basis, it's better not to do that. But all the people whinging in the comments, bunch of pussies. Bunch of pussies. They're the ones replaying it 10 times to watch it, being entertained by it, yet then they'll blast
Yeah.
it and complain about it, which is completely hypocritical. So sit back and enjoy the show or
But again,
shut up, in my opinion.
what sport, but what sport does not have a little conflict, competition? What marriage does not have a little conflict?
Passion.
Okay, everybody? Okay, and how much conflict do you have with yourself? You're fighting yourself all day long. How about we put that on television and see? You get what I'm saying? So, give it a break. Conflict is everywhere. That's what makes progression. That's what makes competition. That's what makes excitement. You know what I mean? This world has gotten so soft that nobody's allowed to even express themselves anymore. Right? It's insane. And you should say I see it in the American fans. They're almost like a golf crowd because they've just been silenced so much. And compared to like if you go to Europe, like let's say Anaheim Stadium compared to the Nations this year, right? Wow, it's like two completely different, like two different types of people. So what I'm saying is like it's dude, nothing happened, you know, nothing happened. Let the racing go on. And again, look at you just said okay, Eli. Well, Eli's 31 years old, 30. Fucking Jet is 20, dude. 20.
Exactly.
Everybody go back and everybody go back and think about when you're 20 and the dumb shit that you did and reacted over. You know what I mean? And we all just would be a little quiet. And the young people complaining, just wait a couple more years and you'll find out the dumb shit you do at 20. You know? So that was the whole thing with me too. It was like, Jet's 20, dude, leave him alone. But the problem is when you come out and, you know, I applaud him. If you come out and without even winning a supercross and saying I'm going for the King's record, that's a little disrespectful. I applaud the confidence and I know where it comes from being undefeated. I get it, but that's a little bit disrespectful. And the sport to climb on board is super disrespectful to anybody that even has 5, 6, 10, 20, 30, 40, because he hasn't gotten there yet. And now, as you see, once that pressure got on him, you see what's happening. He's buckling left and right. He's
Well, yeah,
making
you're a bit of a
mistakes and
boss to yourself.
overriding and over trying.
Do you think
Excuse
a
me?
writer needs to have almost an unhealthy belief in themselves, like a godlike belief that they can do extraordinary things to do those extraordinary things? Or you think they can just be humble and get it done?
Yes, yeah, no, no. Well, one thing. You can have that godlike belief, 100%, but there's times to talk about it, and there's times not to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe when he gets to 50 or 40 at last, and it comes quick, he's like, "Hey, man, I'm going for this championship. I'm going for this record." Okay, cool. All right, cool. Gotcha. But right now, hey, just keep it in the basement, son, and let your writing
Yeah,
show it because it does. Your writing shows you
yeah,
have a godlike confidence in yourself. You know what I mean?
for
Your
sure.
writing shows you
But
have a
I get it,
godlike
like
confidence
it's
in yourself, but
entertainment.
right
And when
now,
it's entertainment, so when
he
you're
put a
doing
little
these things, like if
pressure.
you compare it to UFC, we're not even anywhere. Like it's not even he's barely touching on like on what the bravado of say a UFC fighter or a boxing fan or anything like that is. So it's still like I still think everyone's a bunch of pussies just getting their knickers in a knot. When they see a writer really believe in themselves, really show confidence, show their aspirations, I applaud it. I think good on you because I know how hard it is to do to come out and do that and have that self belief. So when I see people cutting it down, I just think, that's just you're just insecure because you don't believe in yourself that much.
Yeah. No, and again, I applaud him. And I applaud him for going for, putting that goal that far out there, bitching. And I see where it's coming from because how couldn't you have going 22-0?
Yeah.
How couldn't you? I get it. But hey, let's win one. Let's win five. Let's win 10. But then the whole sport jumping on board too. It just was kind of wrong timing. But again, 20 years old. 20 years old,
Yeah.
everybody. I mean, holy shit, man. I mean, again, let me hang out with everybody for a day and let me see how perfect you are with your words, your actions, your thoughts, your everything. And it blows me away that everybody is so critical of everybody else, and they make the more mistakes than the people they're critical on, right? It's
Yeah.
because the problem is that they have so much fucking stress. They're so stressed out, so over pressured, so worked, so much anxiety that they have no room in their cup to allow anybody's indifference to come in. You get what I'm saying? They have no
Absolutely. I
room
think
in their
everyone's
cup to
central
allow
nervous
anybody's
system is
indifference
on
to
like
come in.
fifth gear.
So any indifference that comes in, they have a reaction to. But when you can empty your cup of that stress and that fear and that overworked and that anxiety, you have so much more room for people's indifferences. So you become so much more like accepting, more lovable, more like say myself and you. We in the beginning we had this little tussle, but fuck, now we got great conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and it's because it doesn't seem like your cup is over full of shit, and my cup is very empty of my own shit. So we have the time to be able to kind of meet in the middle and understand each other instead of all just being so stressed out. Now, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you. You're challenging me.
Hmm.
Hold on, bro. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
this is a talk, not a fight, right? And so
Typically,
that's what I
if someone
see,
is acting out
in
like
this
that, they're
world.
like projecting something that's going wrong on the inside of them. But if you're all good on the inside, you don't project that out onto anybody else. You just handle it and knock it off. And one of my favorite quotes is that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And if you really break things down, like I don't understand why people get so pissed off about such small, insignificant things. Like bad days will come. People that you love will die. You will die.
Yeah,
Uh, there will be bad days. Like
yeah.
you talk about a 20-year-old making a cocky comment, or you're getting pissed off about a helmet grab. Like it's such insignificant minor stuff. It's kind of
Yeah,
sad.
when we're about ready to, yeah, especially when the way this world is. I had some guy being rude to me the other day, and I'm like, you're gonna be rude to me in the way the world is right now. I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? This is the reason. So the thing is, like, the way the world is, this what's coming around the corner, and even what's happening in America with Texas and this whole thing. I mean, we could be going into a civil war soon, and so there's a lot more to be prepared, about than upset of somebody grabbing a helmet after a race. You know, and
Would seem we're
but
incentivized to argue with
that's
each
just
other these days, which is a little bit odd because it starts on social media. You'll see two sides of the divide or in the media. They'll get everybody arguing, and it's kind of sad because you see it seeping into everyday life, which I mean, if you're a motocross fan and then you're booing, say,
Yeah.
Jet, it's, man, like, you should be booing like netball or fucking hockey or
Yeah, I mean, it's
not your own sport. That to me is just insane.
yeah, yeah, I know, and yeah, I mean, I was shocked at Anaheim too when he came out. There's a big boo, and I'm like, but again, see, the thing is what's happening in motocross right now is the fans are changing. So when I went to Anaheim one, I was kind of shocked that 75% of the people there do not ride motorcycles. There's no way motocross.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sport has become so popular. It's becoming exciting. Like, people didn't like in America. People really didn't understand monster trucks. They just went there because it was exciting. Now people have Supercross is getting so much more popular. People are seeing that as an exciting sport, so they're going there for entertainment. But they don't know the history of it. They don't know the roots of it. If that makes sense. So. Yeah. The sport is changing on now being more of a spectator sport than it being such a participant spectator sport, right? Yeah. So 10 years ago, most people that are going to Supercrosses and Nationals and everything are participant spectators. Now, these people are just spectators, and it's going to grow. It's just like Formula One. Formula One. 5% of the spectators now probably even know what happened 5 years ago. It's just because it got so popular on Netflix, and that's what I feel in motocross is going to happen. Everybody get ready for a boom, because I believe with five new manufacturers coming in, with Ducati and Triumph and all these Beta and all these companies coming into motocross, we need one Netflix show on just like Drive to Survive, Ride to Survive, and just think, okay, look at this. Jason Anderson, the first four races, he got second in Anaheim, shows up Monday, ready to ride, does all his work, goes to San Francisco, cartwheels in the mud, just fucking cartwheels, gets up, finishes the races, back on the track Monday morning. Tuesday or Wednesday, his riding partner dislocates his hip, stands by the guy the whole time, holding his leg up, until he puts him into the ambulance with the medics. After the ambulance leaves, he walks uphill, gets his helmet on, does a 20-minute moto, does not miss a beat. Goes to San Diego and gets in this tuffle with Jet. Then this whole thing during the week, and then goes this weekend and wins. You don't tell me that that's not more exciting than all of the Formula One Drive to Survive, just that one person's week. You get what I'm saying? Now, if they had Cooper Webb and Tomac and I'm telling you, man, if this happens, this sport's going to fucking blow. I really believe that, because people don't understand. They only see what happens at the race. And that's almost that's in our world, that's almost the most kind of mellow time. During the week is when all the shit happens and all the medical stuff and having to go this, and sometimes the crashes and all the training and the tired parts and
Do you think the sports should try and focus on the entertainment more than the professional squeaky clean athlete side? Like, I'd be promoting Jet and Jason having a scuffle rather than giving them a fine. What do you think?
Well, I feel there needs to be two things. We can't take away the competition. We can't take away the racing for entertainment, but we can make it much more entertaining by, I guess, just allowing a little bit more freedom. But I don't know if you're going to make it more entertaining, even like after Anaheim too, just how, if you watch those guys, there's 7, 8 guys going down a rhythm lane, jumping quad, triple quad or whatever, and all in different, moving around. I mean, it's like, how do you get more exciting than that? And most people don't know what that feeling is.
Right now is the absolute ultimate. But it's what you said before. Like, I watch UFC. I don't have a solitary fucking idea how the fighting works, but I love the storylines. I love the characters. And that's what gets me invested in it.
Yeah.
In motocross, we kind of don't get that. We just get there like the blobs on the track. And if you study the art of it, you enjoy it. But the storylines, they're sort of not really there. Well, they're not promoted anyway, as such.
Yeah, so that's the thing. There need to be more of a Supercross. See, I don't think really anything needs to change. I just think there needs to be more publicity on it. And the problem is that you have companies like Feld and all these things that don't want it to grow because they just want their pie. And that once somebody buys it that wants to see it get bigger, then you're going to see riders start to have merchandising. You're going to start seeing more episodes maybe to highlight the riders behind the scenes. But again, in our sport, we're so covered up. These guys can't say anything wrong, do anything wrong, act any wrong, be anything different because of so the sponsors on them. It's like the Formula One, you know, those guys have to be so picture perfect. Well, UFC, the owner doesn't give a fuck what you say and how you act and how you do because he understands that that attracts attention. And even if it's negative attention, UFC is getting attention. So in motocross and everything, everybody wants to be perceived so well that they're not getting as much attention because even negative attention is good attention, if that makes sense. And it's not negative, it's just manufacturers. You got Red Bull, you got manufacturers, Red Bull, you know, Monster, all these things. But yeah, it's just different worlds that way. And you know, but also being a motocrosser, you kind of turn into a monk. Unfortunately, you become boring because you know, I always look at these guys and I'm like, dude, you guys just talk so boring, this and that. Yeah, then I go back and look at my interviews when I was racing, and I was the same way. I was the same way. It's just like you're so monotone. You're like you're just a monk because you don't do anything else except ride, train, and race. And you're always in this mindset of how to get better, how to improve what you did wrong. You know what I mean? Not get hurt. You didn't just. It's just this overwhelming. And so now I look at my interviews now and I'm like, holy shit. It's like
I wish someone would just let loose. I wish someone would let loose on the mic, but you don't get it too often. AP is great. AP is unreal, but it's I mean, if the goal is results and money, then ideally you wouldn't say anything. You just go out there and perform. That'd be it. But the selfish side.
Yeah, but AP,
stir it.
But AP isn't being himself either. It's an act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an act. It's a realm. It's persona. It's a, you know, so he has to talk this way and but he can't say what he wants to say. I'll guarantee there's a lot more cuss words and a lot more of this and a lot more. You know what I mean? So again, if you want someone to be real, see Formula One, the Drive to Survive. Those guys are actually being real. Yeah. I mean, it as fuck. 6 years ago, even the word poop wasn't allowed in Formula One, you know, but they have I think 500% increase in popularity. Some stupid number on the Survive has come out, and so I think the more popular it gets, the more expressive everybody will be able to be. You know what I mean? But right now, the sport and everything kind of has us in lockdown because there's only two people in this whole country that own motocross, and that's Feld and the Coombs. That's it. It's mafia a little bit. So we need somebody like an investment group that bought Formula One to come in and say, all right, we want to make this worldwide. We want to make this. We want to, you know, and come in with fucking real money and make the sport and give it what it deserves. And then the riders get what they deserve. And then you start to see, I think, more characters, you know?
For sure, yeah. I think it does relate a little bit back to human nature. Like one of the 6 basic fears is criticism, which maybe back in your day, criticism was what from your team manager and your friends around you, whereas now it comes from a million dickheads on social media. So it's, you know, I do understand why they just stay in their box, out of sight, out of mind. But man, it would be great. It would be great to see some personalities flare up.
Yeah, but that's, you know, but again, there's buttons on your social media to block comments. You know,
you can just and again,
if I was that big, and I was winning and I was kicking ass, I wouldn't give two shits about anybody's comments. I'd turn them all off because
I guess the problem is when you're not winning.
I'm winning. You know, so that's the thing. It's up to you. It all comes back. Everything that you do and everything that you go and everywhere you try to hide from and cover up always brings you back to yourself. You know, hey, I can't. Social media and it's causing all these problems with me. Well, it's your fault because you're looking at it and reading these comments, right? You're not going to change social media. You're not going to change anybody else.
Judgment of it and how you react to it is the problem.
Yeah. You're not going to change social media. You're not going to change anybody else. So don't change yourself to do that. Just take responsibility and turn the button off that you hide comments, you know, or just flip by it. There's a lot of times that if I post something that I know I'm going to get shit from, I don't even read my comments. I don't even check them. I can care two shits because I know what I'm getting. So I didn't even look
I'll
at
tell
it.
you what, when I called you a goon, you've got a pretty
of
strong
them
fan
because
base, mate. I copped it.
I know if I'm going to get shit. Huh?
I said, when I called you a goon, you've got
What
a
was
pretty strong fan base because I absolutely copped it. When I called you a goon for the knee
Yeah,
brace.
well, that's you went a little far with it, so I had to like, all right, fucker, with the video stuff. You took it next level. So next level then reflects the next level of response. So
Yeah.
anyways,
I mean, you did call me a pubic hair on your ball sack, so.
huh?
I said you did call me a pubic hair on your ball sack.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I like that one. That one came up quite well. It's like, that was a good one, dude.
Nah, that's just blokes being blokes. You gotta have thick skin.
But yeah,
If you get
but yeah,
upset
dude,
over
I gotta, like I said,
yeah.
go ahead again.
I said if you're getting upset
What'd you
over
say?
other people's comments, it's more of a reflection on you than what they are saying. Like you need to be more confident within yourself that it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's I know who I am, and that's your judgment, and that's your opinion. And
Yeah,
any problems I can have are the ones that I perceive from what they say. It doesn't actually come into me unless I decide it's a problem. And social media is if you can understand that, it's great because there's always going to be two sides of the divide. You can't have the good without the bad. So you can't have the positive comments without the negative comments. And once you separate between them and you understand that they're external, and my own thoughts are internal, my own judgments of myself, it's fun. I'll call you a goon all day long.
yeah. Well, and exactly, it's how you take it. You know what I mean? It's how you take it, and how the biggest thing is how comfortable are you in your own skin. The more comfortable you are in your own skin, the less you get affected, the less you get offended. You know, like people can't offend me. I'm just whatever, dude. You don't like. I go, you've never even hung out with me. If you hung out with me, you'd probably be like, hey, can we hang out tomorrow? Because fuck your fun.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is that it's because nobody's comfortable in their own skin. Everybody's trying to become something. Everybody's trying to change. Everybody's reading everybody else's story on how they did it or their tragedy and how whatever. It's just like everybody's so far out of themselves. It's like, hold on, why don't you come back to yourself, learn to be comfortable with yourself. You know, there's nothing to become and there's nothing to change. First, find out who you are, and then you'll know what you need to maybe work on. Stop reading everybody else's story in all these books. How about go back and look at your chapters, and see where you have gone wrong, where you have maybe wrong decisions, where some of your habits went wrong, whatever it was. So then you can start to dictate your life a little bit better and start writing your own fucking fairy tale instead of trying to write somebody else's that you're following's fairy tale. You know what I mean? Because I think that can be a problem with reading too many books, reading too many people's ways instead of pondering. How about some silence? Turn your phone off, go into nature, whatever it is, and just sit there and let your mind ponder on stuff. That's my favorite thing to do is just sit there with my own mind and let it ponder on my day, my life, my situations, my holdups, you know, my fears, my whatever that comes across, and just work them out slowly. I will start working them out instead of trying to pile up somebody else's information on how to work them out. You know what I mean? Because nobody's walked a day in your shoes.
Obviously, we've had
nobody's walked a day in your shoes. You know?
We have a little tussle about the knee braces, but if to me, like all the stuff you say with philosophy and ice baths and yoga, and I 100% agree with. I think a strong mind is one that you can sit with and don't have to distract. A lot of people get it twisted that if you're constantly distracting yourself, you're constantly busy, you're constantly chasing something, that's a good thing. But you're actually just running from a weak mind that has its own fears, and it's what you say about that. So journaling, meditating, going out in nature, sitting with yourself and downloading your thoughts and internalizing them. I think all that stuff's spot on. And I think that's really valuable if there's anyone young listening or watching to do that, because I see so many people that are external from themselves, whether it's distracting themselves with the phone or whatever it is. There's a million ways to do it these days. I think you bang on with all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like, you know, there's I have a few people that have come to me around that are, men that are single, that we're alone, we live alone, and there's a lot of men in this world that live alone. And I feel that's a big, it's kind of like a big issue that nobody talks about, that men that live alone, and sometimes I think leads to suicide, because a man's mind is very strong and can start to really beat himself down. And so myself and my friend have really been talking about trying to start something where we talk to men about, hey, it's okay to be alone. You don't need a relationship. You don't think, yes, we think we need to be loved all the time. Yes, we need to be loved, but a relationship also comes with all these other issues, all these other holes, all these other responsibilities, all these other things. So, it's not, either one is going to have its difficulty, but you are where you are right now. So how do you learn to cope with that? And that's learning how to soothe yourself, eating good, ice baths, saunas, yoga, meditation, journaling, just things to soothe yourself. And that's, and stuff like that. But then also talking to men that, if ever, because when you're alone, you think you're the only person feeling this. You're the only person feeling alone. But no, bullshit. There's so many fucking people feeling that way. And right now, I think it's an epidemic that everybody's feeling alone. So, because what was happening is these phones and social media and everything that's happening in this world is taking us so far away from the source. And the source is us. And the source is God. And the source is spirit, whatever you want to call it. And that lives in us. You know what I mean? So the more you distance yourself away from it, the more you're going to feel alone. It's almost like an orphan. The farther it gets away from its home, the more alone it's going to feel, right? And so that's almost what I'm feeling. We're being so pulled out of into this extraordinary world of entertainment and information that we're widening that gap between our own instinct and our own intuition and our own initiation to this world, right? And then we lose the honor. We don't honor it anymore. We don't honor the little things anymore, because we're always looking for these big things to entertain us and also reward us.
Yeah,
in this world, nothing has big things except. In this world, nothing has big things except devastation, right? In this earth, nothing has big things happen to it at all except devastation. Everything is small, delicate, happening very slow, very soft, not in a rush. And so, that's that.
Happy days, my friend.
Dude, hey, we need to connect, man. We need to connect. I need to come to Australia. I know we've been talking about it, but it's just been life and da-da-da. But let's connect. I think we could do something really cool, more than just motocross, but also something deeper. You know what I mean? Like let's bring something into this sport that is not there. And I've always said motocross is so complex, it needs its own philosophy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. My view on motocross,
you know what I mean? Because you're
sorry. So my view on motocross,
you're dealing with a track that's always changed.
Sorry, it's a bit of a time lag. My view on motocross is it's either you're doing it at the upper echelon, you're all in, and you're probably having some unhealthy, selfish ways of living, but you're doing it for performance, or you're doing it for entertainment and you use it as like a vehicle for life lessons. So you're using the sport of motocross to teach yourself healthy ways of living that will carry on after the sport. I think they're two very different sides of the coin. There's the performance side, and then I'm using this as a benefit to my everyday life side. And yeah, what you touched on with that, I think is spot on. I think it's I think there's a lot of people out there that could do a bit of a nudge in that correct direction of downloading their mind and becoming happier within themselves. And motocross is a great way to lead into that, because you do see like it's an incredibly stimulating sport. It's very high adrenaline. It's very fast paced. And if you take that into you stop riding and you take that into the normal world, I find it pretty hard to adapt, like to go from that constant adrenaline, the constant fight or flight state of mind, and then you get rid of riding. You often see it not work out too well, and I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And again, it's I'm gonna have to cut this short here quick because I'm getting to Glen Helen. So two things. One, yeah, I think the sport is changing in its direction of being more present, more more calculated. You know what I mean? And that's going to come from a more present, meditative, more like more meditative mind. You know, you have like a ninja, a ninja yoga mind, right? Very sharp but very patient. And you see that in Jet. Everybody thinks he's so fast. Yes, he's brilliant, but I feel he's a step behind everybody. Everybody's thinking on going fast. He's feeling what fast is. Two different places. Thinking on going fast is always ahead of myself. Stop goes, rushes, mistakes. Feeling what fast is always going to be this constant momentum, smooth, soft, present feel, which he has. So I think he's a step behind, and that's the mind. The mind's always ahead of yourself if you want something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the mind to be with you to get something. And so, I really feel that that's something that can be touched on. And I feel also in sport that what I've had to deal with what you're saying is now not riding. I'm capable of riding. I go to the track all the time, but I just shouldn't ride. You know what I mean? Because of my injuries. And so going from that world of being one of the best in the world, and that's all my world was about just chasing competition and dominating, and then now having to shut it down. And the only excitement I have or thrill in sport is yoga. Yeah. So there's a lot of times that I get into these kind of things of like, fuck, man, this is life. You know what I mean? This is life, and you start looking for things to entertain you. So I've been very aware of not just doing things to entertain me. Like, okay, I'm going to go down here, but why am I going to go to the beach just to do something? How about just be okay with what is right now? And so that's what I've been focusing on too, is why we're so afraid of right now.
Yeah.
Why are we so afraid of it? Why do we always got to escape it? Why? You know what I mean? Why? And it's usually because one, it faces you back to yourself, or two, just that addiction to not being bored. And that's my thing. I love being by myself. I don't question myself or doubt myself or this, but the boredom part is where what gets me. Then I'm trying to always do stuff to fill that kind of that addiction I've had of always, I guess, exciting myself through life.
It's like adrenaline. It's constant dopamine chases. It's the constantly being distracted and chasing something else other than your own peace of mind, basically.
Yeah. It's not eating something, chasing some really good food. Oh yeah, I love that smoothie or whatever. Okay, that, and then boom, now you're on Bumble chasing a girl. Oh yeah, hooking that up, and then I'm gonna go running, and then it's just like you're always trying to chase, this excitement. So, but it's good. But hey, dude, anyways, I'm about ready to get off the freeway. Always good talking to you, but dude. Let's after this, let's talk about really coming to Australia, doing something that way. I know we talk about it, this and that, but yeah, I think something like that should happen here, especially right after I get done with kind of Supercross season. I should have a little bit of time, or even before, and we do something that way. I think it'd be really cool, because now that we talk more, I see that we see eye to eye more. You know what I mean? And if a piece of carbon fiber is going to get between two people that think the same, well, then those are very immature, childish thinking people, and I don't think we're that way. So let's connect.
No, absolutely, mate. I appreciate that, and I do relate with a lot of what you say. So I definitely got a deep respect for you, especially for everything you've done in the sport. And as I've said, the door's always open. Anytime you want to make it happen, let's do it, mate. Absolutely.
Okay, bud. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and connect here shortly, and we'll see what the next step is.
Legend. Have a good day, mate.
All right, bud. And if anybody who's watching, everybody like that, hope you enjoyed. And again, love the sport, honor the sport, and you'll get more out of the sport.
Good man. See you, mate.
See you, bud.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a follow on Instagram, MWMX Show, and on the face, Google MWMX Podcast as well. I apologize about the quality, but hey, guess what? I'm not a tech guy. I'm just a bloke that loves motocross, and so is Ryno. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.